Linda Peterson had always considered herself a woman of stability. At 52, she had raised 2 children, maintained a successful real estate career in Austin, Texas, and was known for her practical, calm approach to life. Her marriage to Doug had ended amicably nearly a decade ago, and though she occasionally missed companionship, she had made peace with the quiet of her new normal. But that quiet began to shift on a rainy Tuesday in October when she walked into a local café to escape a downpour. The café was small and cozy, with the comforting aroma of roasted coffee beans and cinnamon pastries. Linda had been there once or twice before, but never long enough to get to know the people who frequented it. On this particular afternoon, she noticed a man sitting at the counter, reading a book that looked worn with love. He was around her age, maybe a few years younger, with graying hair and a soft smile that immediately disarmed her. As she approached the counter to order her cappuccino, the man looked up and gave her a polite nod. She smiled back, a reflex she hadn't realized was still so natural. They didn't exchange words then, but something lingered in that glance, something warm. The next day, she returned. Whether it was for the coffee or for the chance to see him again, she wasn't sure. He was there, this time with a different book and a mug of tea. She ordered her drink and sat a few seats away. After a few minutes, he turned slightly and said, "You're the lady from yesterday, right? The one who looked like she didn't mind the rain." Linda laughed. "That's one way to put it. I'm Linda." "Tom," he replied, extending his hand. "Nice to meet you." What began as casual conversation turned into something more consistent over the following weeks. They saw each other regularly, always in that little cafe on 4th Street. Tom was a retired English professor who had moved to Austin to be closer to his daughter and grandchildren. Like Linda, he had been single for years and had found comfort in his routines. He spoke of poetry, of hiking trails he wanted to explore again, of music from the 70s that still stirred something in him. Linda found herself looking forward to their conversations. She appreciated his gentleness, his insight, and the way he made her laugh without trying too hard. They didn't talk about relationships or romance at first. It was as though they were both cautiously exploring the space between friendship and something deeper. Then came a Saturday morning when Tom invited her to a community theater production of Our Town. Linda hesitated. It had been a long time since she had been on what might be considered a date. She wasn't even sure if this counted as one, but she said yes. That night, sitting beside him in the dim auditorium, she felt something she hadn't felt in years, nervous anticipation. Their hands brushed, and neither of them moved away. When the play ended, they lingered in the parking lot, reluctant to part ways. "You hungry?" Tom asked. "I could eat," Linda smiled. They ended up at a quiet diner on the edge of town, sharing a plate of fries and stories from their youth. Tom told her about his college days, and Linda shared how she had once dreamt of being a journalist. They laughed more freely than ever before, and as Tom walked her to her car, he stopped, hesitated, then leaned in and kissed her gently on the cheek. "Thank you for coming tonight," he said softly. Linda drove home in silence, her heart full and mind racing. She hadn't felt this alive in a very long time. Their connection deepened after that night. They began spending more time together, walks through Zilker Park, Sunday brunches, visits to the farmer's market. Linda found herself opening up in ways she didn't expect. She told Tom about her fears of growing older alone, about the pressure of always appearing strong for her children, who now lived states away. Tom listened. He never interrupted, never judged. He simply held space for her to be herself. One evening, over dinner at his place, Tom asked, "Do you ever think about falling in love again?" Linda paused. "Sometimes. I guess I just thought that part of my life was over." Tom reached for her hand. "Maybe it's just beginning." There was something so sincere in the way he said it that Linda felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes. She hadn't planned on any of this. Love wasn't something she had expected, especially not now, not when she had grown so comfortable in her independence. But there it was, quietly blooming like spring flowers after a long winter. Months passed, and their bond only grew stronger. They navigated their differences with patience. Linda was meticulous, preferring plans and order, while Tom leaned more toward spontaneity. Yet, they found joy in those differences. He brought adventure into her structured world, and she brought a sense of grounding into his. Linda's children were surprised but happy to see their mother smiling so much again. Her daughter, Kate, told her during a video call, "Mom, you seem lighter. Happier. I love seeing you this way." Linda smiled. "I didn't realize how much I missed being close to someone. It feels good." One spring afternoon, Tom surprised her with a picnic in the botanical gardens. They sat on a blanket, surrounded by blooming flowers, the soft hum of bees and birds filling the air. Tom reached into his backpack and pulled out a small book of poetry. He read her a short poem by Mary Oliver and then looked into her eyes with a steady gaze. "I'm falling in love with you, Linda." She blinked, caught off guard but not unprepared. "I think I've been falling for a while now," she whispered back. They embraced, and in that moment, there was no fear, no question, just the warmth of two souls who had found each other in the most unexpected chapter of life. Love, they realized, didn't care about age or timelines. It didn't wait for the perfect moment. Sometimes, it found you in a quiet cafe on a rainy Tuesday and gently asked you to take a chance again. As the months turned into a year, Linda and Tom created a life that was both simple and rich with meaning. They traveled together, laughed often, and spent quiet evenings listening to vinyl records while sipping wine. There was no rush, no pressure to label everything. They were simply together, partners, companions, and in every sense of the word, in love. And so, Linda, the woman who had once believed her romantic days were behind her, discovered that love can arrive when you least expect it and blossom with more depth and beauty than ever before. All it takes is a little openness, a little courage, and the willingness to say yes to something new.